Human mind is a very powerful tool, and one of its main functions is to keep you safe and secure, and not just from physical dangers, but also mental and emotional ones. But sometimes these survival tactics of the mind can become really toxic in your life. I'll give you an example. No one is really introvert in their childhood. In fact, all children are extrovert. They love to be center of attention. But for someone who had a past of being shamed and ridiculed again and again, they may turn into a very introvert kind of personality. This introversion at its very core is a survival tactic. The pain of being shamed and ridiculed must have been felt so deeply that by limiting interactions with other people, mind is trying to eliminate the possibility of that happening again. Such kinds of personality traits that are born out of some survival tactic can become really toxic in the long run. Like in this example, introversion can deprive anyone of the beautiful experiences they can have from other people's company. Whenever you face any situation where you felt a negative emotion, if that emotion was not resolved in the same moment, it will get suppressed to your subconscious mind. There, it will be registered as a threat, and your mind will build survival tactics to avoid such situation in future. Such avoidance will reflect in your behavioral patterns, like we just discussed the example of introversion. Toxic personality traits try to control the flow of your life. They deprive you of the many beautiful experiences you could have had if you had not avoided those situations. And there's also a catch here. You must have all heard of law of vibration. You attract the reality according to your thought patterns. So if you want to avoid a particular kind of situation, that situation will happen in your life again and again. So if you want to change your reality, you have to change your consciousness. Basically your thought patterns, your conditioning of the mind, your trauma, your triggers. There is a law of universe called law of correspondence. It also goes by the principle of as above so below. Basically, it means that your physical reality reflects your inner self. Whatever triggers you in the outer world is the pain you're running from internally. But now you must be thinking that how is that even possible? How to do that? It takes years to condition a mind. How do we change it? And that too consciously, because this is something that happens unconsciously. But don't worry, I've got a very simple exercise for you. It's called mirror exercise. It means that you allow the world to become your mirror and show you where you hurt. So basically, watch your triggers to find out where the pain is, and then you work on healing that pain. Of course, it's not that easy like it sounds, but don't worry, I'm here to walk you through each step of it. The main objective of mirror exercise is to identify your trigger patterns so that we can heal them. Before we start, I want you to understand that triggers are very different from normal emotions. Like if you feel anger when someone cuts into the line ahead of you, that's a very normal emotion. But if you feel angry when someone gives you a feedback and that anger is so high that you're not able to speak to that person immediately or you just burst off on that person like a volcano, then that's a trigger. So, a simple difference between a normal emotion and a trigger would be that if the seriousness of the situation is not as much as the intensity of the emotion, then that's a trigger. In one of my previous videos, I have spoken in detail about how to decode the message behind different kinds of emotions. For example, anger is a mind telling us that we are being wronged. Sadness is felt when you have lost something very dear to you. Guilt is felt when your actions violate some core value within you. And shame is felt when mind perceives public exposure over something that violates societal standard. The very first step of mirror exercise is to identify your trigger patterns. You have to watch your interactions with other people very closely and identify those situations where you get triggered. Once you identify those situations which trigger high intensity emotions in you, you have to note down those emotions. What are those emotions and why do you feel them? Like if you feel anger, then what is that wrong that you perceive in the situation? If you feel guilt, then what core value is getting violated here? If you feel shame, then what is that societal standard that you think you have broken? Let me give you an example here. Suppose in moments of dispute, you feel very high level of anxiety and your coping mechanism is self-isolation. Then this reflects a pain of not being able to handle reactive emotions. In the past, you may have seen many disputes which were not handled in a healthy manner. And in those moments, you felt safer to retreat to a secluded corner. So now that has become your toxic personality trait. Every time you face disputes, you feel safer to self isolate and you do not know how to handle those disputes in a healthy manner because you have not seen it in the past. Let me give you another example. Suppose you get triggered by criticism. You feel a lot of anger whenever someone gives you a negative feedback. This reflects a past pain of not feeling good enough. This generally happens to people who have faced a lot of criticism in the past, especially from their primary caregivers. Because when you get negative feedback from your primary caregivers, the very people who are supposed to accept you as you are, who are supposed to love you as you are, when you face criticism from them, it makes you feel abandoned and rejected by them. And that pain can cut really deep. So now, every time you get criticism from anyone, it takes you back to that past memory where you felt not good enough, where you felt abandoned. It will be beneficial for you to maintain a journal to note down these trigger patterns and emotions behind them, and the past memories that are triggering those emotions. Once you have identified the past memories that are triggering those emotions in you, you have to change the narrative of those memories. For example, if criticism is your trigger point and you have a past memory where you were constantly criticized by your primary caregivers, you have to tell yourself that in the past, although you felt unsafe and rejected because of that feedback, that was just a feedback and not a threat to your personal security. In the past, you had interpreted that feedback as rejection, that you are not good enough. Now you have to change that narrative. You have to tell yourself that feedback was only on some activity or behavior of yours and not on you as a person. You are loved, you are accepted. You have to remind yourself that you are surrounded by people who accept you and support you no matter what. And you no longer need to avoid those situations where you get a negative feedback because that does not mean rejection. Revisiting painful memories can be a very sensitive exercise. You must be kind and gentle with yourself. You must allow yourself enough time to feel those emotions and release them. If at any moment it is getting too overwhelming, you must stop that exercise and try breathing exercises. Or maybe eat something to distract yourself and calm down your nerves. Once you have felt the pain, you will feel this weight lifted off your chest. You will feel that you no longer need to run away from those situations. That happens because earlier you were suppressing that pain and your mind was running away from all those situations that remind you of that pain. But once you've already felt it, you are no longer scared of it. It's no longer a threat. Your mind perceives that you are stronger than it. So it will drop down all those walls or all those behavioral patterns that it had built to avoid those situations. I don't know if you have heard of this, but our body has 7 chakras. And one of the chakras is heart chakra. Whenever we feel any pain, guilt, shame, hurt, our heart chakra closes down because it is not opening up to new possibilities. It is trying to avoid any situation that may remind it of that pain. But once you try out mirror exercise and release all those emotions and behavioral patterns of avoiding those situations, your heart chakra opens up and you feel this newfound zeal for life and everyone around you. So try out this exercise and free yourself from all those toxic personality traits that are manifesting unpleasant situations in your life. Remove all those limitations and open your heart to the infinite possibilities of this universe. Hi guys, thanks for watching. I hope you're liking my content. If you find this video helpful, please like and share it with your friends and family and subscribe to my channel. For you, it might just be a click, but for me, it would mean the world of encouragement.